Hey guys, Miss Savage here. Today I want to talk about etiquette. Okay, I usually talk about this. Did I get it in there? I usually talk about this during my food section because we learn how to do several things in table manners and table settings and things like that. But I do like to talk about etiquette. Sometimes I talk about before, sometimes after. The customary code of polite behavior in society. That's what it says here. Okay, how do we be polite in society? One thing we need to do is start putting our phones down and having conversation. We talk about having good manners in my classroom all the time. So I like for my students to say yes ma'am and no ma'am, please and thank you, and be courteous to their fellow classmates. Okay, if someone's talking, we don't talk over them. So I try to do this. So good manners. But also good manners. I looked up some things in my books, and this is what I talk about in my classroom sometimes. But these are some things that I talk about. Like I said, please and thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Be on time. And in conversations, let's learn to be good listeners. Okay, it's called an active listener. Not just a passive listener, not just waiting for that person to get finished so I can tell my story. Let's be an active listener. Let's listen to what they're saying. Not on a cell phone. Let's have a face-to-face conversation. And like I said, our cell phones, they have just taken over everything. Obviously, I'm doing this video on a cell phone. But let's have conversations. I'm going to get into table manners and things like that. And one thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to take our cell phones to the table. To the dining table. Phone etiquette when we're talking. Let's talk about the phone. If you are on the phone, a lot of times people don't have home phones anymore, but we do. So some of you are going to be doing job interviews, and the first time you speak to someone might be on a cell phone because a lot of applications are done online. So make sure you speak clearly. Like I said, you are an active listener, and you use your manners. Please and thank you, yes, no. You don't have to say yes ma'am and no ma'am. Just make sure you say yes, no, thank you, because nothing is more rude than like yeah, nah, whatever. Don't do those things. Job interviews, parents, whoever you're speaking with, just use some good manners. We're going to talk about thank you notes. You seniors are going to be sending out your graduation announcement. I already got one, so I was really excited about that. But you're going to be receiving gifts, money, whatever it may be. Money's a gift. So what I would like for you to do is in the next video, I'm going to talk about a thank you note. But that is it's a lost art. No one sends thank you notes anymore. And those of us that were raised to send those out, it's kind of, it's frustrating because it's almost like you don't appreciate what you got. Yeah, you can send a text, but there's nothing better than a handwritten note. So we're going to practice that in another video. And we're going to talk about table manners. I don't know, this is a great time for everyone to start maybe having at least one meal a day with your family because, hey, we're all home. No one's out working late or anything like that. A lot of people aren't. So let's take the time to have a meal together. Don't take your phones to the table. Let's talk about things that maybe you don't normally talk about with your family. I know table manners when I was growing up, and I tell my kids I had to sit up straight, no elbows on the tables. We didn't have cell phones back then. But, you know, we talked about our day, or we talked about what was going on, or, you know, just whatever it may be. I mean, you can talk about there's a lot going on in our society right now, so let's have these conversations. So it's a great time to talk with your family. So I'm going to do another video on thank you notes, and then I'm going to do a video on setting a table, because I like to tell my kiddos that you never know where life is going to take you. Some of you are going to conquer the world. Some of you are going to be business owners and maybe go into politics. Who knows what you're going to do? I feel like all my babies are going to do wonderful things, and I want you to be able to have good manners. Know which fork goes where, you know, how to set a proper table. Some of you may be able to grow up and throw big parties, and you want to be able to have proper table settings. I guess I'll say that. So until next time, remember, Miss Savage loves you. I hope everyone's doing well. I'll talk to you later. Bye.